Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here. It's 1:30 in the morning here in the UK. I probably should have went to sleep early and tried to wake up earlier so that I can upload the video before the game. But I thought I'd do it before I go to sleep. Anyhow, I hope to share it with the club. But I don't know if my ideas or suggestions will help. But I thought what I would do if I was the manager of Celtic, and I hope Brendan Rodgers will prove all his critics, including me to an extent, wrong. As we've not had the best start Celtic, nor of Rangers really. So, ironically, it's probably a competition between two teams that are in terrible form and are in a transition period where we're buying new players. In Rangers' case, they still got the same manager they've had since the end of last season, but he's not been there a huge amount of time. But he's not completely new. He's had part of last season to work on. Whereas with Celtic, it's Brendan Rodgers who has returned to Celtic, so he has been in management for a long time, and was with Celtic obviously before and was winning things. But I do worry if his his strategies or whatever tactics and whatever difference is. I use those terms interchangeably, but if his strategies / tactics or whatever are old school or too old school for the modern game, I wonder if he's going to play too defensive. I think even if Celtic do sneak a draw or even just especially if we just get one goal and win by a goal, it would be okay. Even if it's quite a boring, scrappy game, I think the most important thing really is the result. But it would be good to get a really good result. I think since the Rangers, the Rankers as I call them, lost a game recently, 5-1 to the PSV. By the way, I'm wearing green and I'm wearing can't see it, but my island top. Welcome to Ireland, which my family got me from Ireland. So I think I didn't go at the time because I was afraid of flying, but it's quite apt perhaps for this video with Celtic's Irish connections. But I know I did a few videos on Celtic recently, but yeah, I hope that Celtic can at least get a draw, if not a victory. But I think we should attack Rangers and go for their defence, partly to keep the ball in their own half, and put pressure on them because our defence is not particularly strong. Also, their defence is a bit weak, so both defences seem to be a bit weak at the moment, wobbly and all that kind of thing. And with the transition period, I think it's good to put them under pressure. So I hope we get up and at them straight away. Probably if I was the manager, my speeches would put people to sleep, so I hope not. But I hope we go up at them and play 100%, play as a team. And I know Celtic won't have any fans there, but or not many fans. I can't remember what the allocation is, but I hope that that would actually mean there'll be less pressure. Hopefully Celtic and the boys can think the fans are thinking of us at home or wherever they're watching around the world, and hopefully that can inspire them with confidence. I hope they won't feel too much pressure, because I think if they have pressure, they play worse anyway. But I hope Joe Hart will I was going to say take the game seriously. I think all the players should really be taking the game seriously. Dare I say, even from our opposition, I would be shocked if they weren't taking the game seriously. And I suppose I won't be disappointed if the opposition's not taking it seriously, but I think definitely they should be, and I think we should be as well. But I hope Joe Hart just keeps it simple, keeps it safe, plays it safe, and does his job of keeping the ball out of the net. Possibly inspires a bit of confidence with his experience from his time with England and football clubs like Man City, especially. I know they released him because he wasn't quite good enough, to be honest, but I hope that he will show how good he can be, which I think he has proven that he can be good when he focuses and doesn't make silly mistakes. So I hope he will do that. I haven't really got to watch many games. I don't think I've got. In fact, I haven't got round to watching or had the opportunity to watch basically any games this season for Celtic, or even at all, any football at all. So I'm going on what other people have said, but they've said he's made quite a few mistakes. Some of them have been the defence putting them under pressure, so I hope we won't unnecessarily go backwards. I hope we'll go forwards, be told that you can just go out and express yourself, go out and attack, let the defenders worry about defence, and let the midfielders and the strikers just try and, while the midfielders should protect the defence, I think we should go out and also express themselves and try and play through balls, break up the play of the opposition, try and keep in their half, keep on top of the game. If we get an early goal, I think that would be cool because it'll put a lot of pressure on them. The crowd might go against. I feel a bit under pressure. That spirit that negative energy will hopefully affect them, and hopefully the positive energy, of course, will I would hope would affect us. I'm sure every Celtic fan will think that. So hopefully the fact they're at home won't adversely affect us. Hopefully it will mean that we can go out and maybe if we get an early goal, it puts a lot of pressure on them. Also running at their defence. Hopefully they'll give us a lot of free kicks around the box, maybe even a penalty or whatnot, and maybe get some yellow cards or even get a player. Yeah, so if you get a yellow card early, especially if they get red early, but if they get a yellow card early, hopefully that'll put a lot of pressure on them for the rest of the game. On that note, however, I hope that the referees and officials generally are as fair as possible and show that they are as fair as possible. And I think there is a case for investigating that a former Celt as I would call it, like former Celtic player, in his case, I call fans or the players Celts as a nickname, but a former Celt, I don't know what his name is, but he was talking in an interview and he said a referee told him I would never give Celtic a penalty against Rangers. So I think some of those decisions, if there are any dodgy decisions either way, I think they should be investigated. There's a conspiracy theory, I suppose you could say, and I suppose a lot of Rangers fans would laugh at this, call it tin forward hat. But it is a conspiracy theory that the referees and officials, especially the referees, possibly all of the officials really, are supposedly Freemasons, and so are the Rangers players. And officially, at least, Catholics are banned from joining Freemasonry. So a lot of people believe that they get favourable decisions. I'd love to hear from neutrals, fans of Scottish football generally, or if people watch the game and really think, or look back at former games, previous games, and listen to interviews, and if you really think that that's a load of baloney or a load of rubbish, basically, I'd love to know. Or if you think that's true and that Rangers do get unfavourable penalties and decisions generally, I hope that there'll be a tight monitoring to make sure that referees, although referees can make mistakes, obviously if they're blatant, you would wonder, and I think there's so many of them, you would wonder, I'm sure, but referees and officials generally, just like anyone else, I'm sure everyone in the world can make mistakes, just as I said on my Facebook. But obviously all we can do is play our game and play the best we can. Hope decisions are as fair as possible. I hope no Celt would want us to have unfavourable decisions in our favour, but I just hope we're refereed to the same standard, and Rangers or any other team are refereed to the same standard, hopefully high quality levels, and maybe justice, like the best team, possibly even the luckiest team, but certainly not the team that gets unfavourable decisions, which would be unfair. May that team win, the one that gets. So the team that plays best or is luckiest, I suppose. Luck can be part of it, perhaps, if you believe in luck. Although you could say it balances itself out and you make your own luck by putting the effort in. So I hope they play as a team, put 100% effort in, or vice versa. Go up and at them and attack them. I hope Brendan Rodgers, and perhaps I should have started with this and led with this, but I think that Brendan Rodgers should play players in their position, try and play Kyogo and Daiser Maeda more up front, or play every player being put into their best position. Maybe the new boys should be on the bench to come on at half time, so that they get some run in, but they don't necessarily get thrown into the deep end, perhaps. But I'd love to hear what fellow Celtic or even Rangers or any other fans think, neutral fans. Do you think it's a load of baloney? In other words, rubbish. I think that's what baloney means. I hope it's not a rude word. I don't think it's a rude word. But do you think it's a load of rubbish that Rangers get unfair decisions, or do you think there's some truth in it? I'd love to hear from all sorts of football fans, especially those obviously who follow Scottish football. I'd love to know your score predictions, any football fans out there, and how you think the game might go. Maybe you could even just for fun predict the amount of corners you think will be in the game. Which team will get the most corners? It could be like you could say, I think Celtic will get 5 corners and Rangers will get 6 or something like that. But yeah, or which team will get the most free kicks? If you think there'll be a penalty in the game, how many throw-ins do you think there'll be? Who do you think will dominate possession? I'd love to know possibly a breakdown of your predictions. But I suppose the most important prediction is the score line. I'd love to know that. What do you think that would be? I'm not much one for prediction myself. I think it will depend on how Celtic turn up. But I think if we get an early goal, it'll put a lot of pressure on them, especially the defenders make a lot of mistakes if we play in their half. If Kyogo and Maeda close down every defensive pass, close down the goalkeeper as much as they can, probably try and draw fouls, run at defenders, intercept things, push them into making mistakes, make them rush, maybe even see if Connor Goldson, who made a terrible error, I was going to say a fatal error, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but he made a terrible error against Eindhoven with a terrible own goal. Maybe see if he's up for it, or if you lose confidence as well. If we run at, I mean, you never know. He might have a really solid game and get a lot of confidence in be on it. But if he does make a mistake, maybe that will make his head drop. Especially if he scores another own goal or something goes wrong for him. Then no offense to him as a person, or no animosity to him against him as a person. But in football terms, maybe if he does make a mistake, or even any defenders from Rangers, or even their goalkeeper, perhaps, who unfortunately I think is a very good goalkeeper, I'm sure. But although I've not seen much of him, but they do say he played really well against Eindhoven. He was probably their best player, even though he conceded 5. If it wasn't for him, it would have been 10. It would have been double figures, not 10 figures, double figures. But yeah, so as I say, to sum it up, I hope that Brendan Rodgers will play players in their position, try and go out up and at them and try and attack, try and play expressive football, expansive football, try and intercept things, cause their defenders all manners of problems, try and run at them, maybe try and get an early goal. I know we only really technically probably only need to draw really for the season, which would give us a lot of confidence. But even then, you never know how the season might pan out. But maybe if we go for the victory, although that is a bit of a risk, but maybe we've got to take a few risks. And if we do get an early goal, I think that'll put a lot of pressure on them, because they'll probably feel that they need to win the game. Well, certainly they'll definitely want to win the game, of course. But obviously, if we draw, we'll still be a point ahead. So I think we should go up and at them, close them down, put pressure on them, hurry them make mistakes, hurry them, and all that kind of thing. Try and get our passes as accurate as possible, so we don't invite pressure onto ourselves. Try to avoid any silly or unforced mistakes and errors, silly and stroke unforced mistakes and stroke errors. And yeah, not defend too much. But when we need to defend, hopefully we'll be able to do so, and hopefully Joe Hart will bring it in his experience. Sometimes I think we should go long. Sometimes I think we should go short, and not always play the same way, not always go long, not always go short. Mix up the play a bit, and I'll say intercept and up front and tackle, defend from the front footing, defend also by keeping hold of the ball. Sorry, I forgot to put that other light on. Defend also by keeping hold of the ball, keeping possession again, not making too many unforced errors, too many mistakes or anything like that. Trying to keep hold of the ball. And again, when they get the ball, try and hurry them, make them make mistakes. Hopefully we'll have more energy than them, which would be pretty cool if we could. Hopefully Kyogo will make those great runs, as he was a top scorer last season. Hopefully he can get back into making those great runs. Maeda hopefully will use his pace and energy to get to try and, if he can't score himself, at least get through balls to Kyogo. It'd be great to see players from from midfield and attack, especially scoring goals, players from different positions, different goal scorers. I think that would be pretty cool. I'll drink to that. But yeah, I just hope we go out and give it 100%, have no regrets, and the boys will leave. Spelled BHOYS for those who don't know, will be able to walk off the pitch with pride and not lose any self-esteem, and just always put 100% in and always work as a team. Anyway, enough waffling from me. I wish you peace and love, and I'm out.